listeners like you. How is anything possible? By listeners like you.
Is that better? Can you hear me now? Oh, what a pickle. See, every time Logitech do an update, it disconnects all of your... anything that's Logitech related just gets disconnected. Sorry about that, folks. Slap some penguins down. Let me know if you can hear me now. Pretty much it just changed the auxiliary to, I don't know, some weird thing. But it's back now. Let me know. Slap some penguins down. Is the sound okay? Everything good? You can hear me now? All good? Yes? Lovely. Welcome to this Friday's live stream. Really happy to see not that many people here this Friday, because the less people for me, the less pressure I guess there is. But the main point of this Friday's live stream is to pretty much cover this Binance AMA that's going to be happening in 15 minutes. Well, 13 minutes to be precise now. So it'll be on Twitter. I'm guessing they'll put a link up or something, but let's kind of like hash over what is really going on at the moment on the overall broader perspective of things, and some dApps, some projects, and other bits and bobs, bits and pieces, protocols and things like that are getting fixes. They are getting back online, which is really good. This is what we need in this space. We need fixes to be provided, you know, as soon as possible. We need support lines to be there for these projects, because each one of these little projects add up on a broader scale of things, and you know, it all does contribute. And with barely any CEXs burning right now, your main contribution of burns are actually coming from on-chain transactions. So really interesting to see the real slow start to some of these CEXs that are supposed to be, you know, the top head honchos in the space. And it's either they've gone really unprepared into this, or they just, you know, lack the interest to dedicate that much man hours to it, and they've only got like a set amount of people. I'm literally just going to shake my drink. I'm sorry about that. Thank you so much, Big Ted, for that donation. I really appreciate it. I just shook that everywhere. Good one, Jake. Thank you so much. Luna V-Shape, thank you so much. Yeah, and we was just discussing Thank you so much for that donation, dude. You really don't need to do that. We were just discussing that a lot of the D apps are getting back online, and yeah, it's really good. It's what we need, because they'll just go off to other projects, and they're in their right mind to do that if they're not getting technical support. I mean, when I started an NFT project on Talos Protocol and I got no support, what did I do? Went straight back to OpenSea, because that's where I can get support if I have an issue. I did get support from Talos Art, but like a month later, you know, it's just like, what the frick? Thank you so much, both of you, for those donations. Folks, please do not donate any more money. Keep it, spend it on yourselves, and up your bags in this really, really good dip, in my opinion. It's not financial advice, but, you know, I think I've bought like 2 million over the past couple of days, which really isn't a lot, I know. But I don't get heavily invested into these sort of things, because it becomes a conflict of interest, doesn't it, for myself? And this is what I find with a lot of influence. They have huge conflicts of interest. You know, they're either paid to shill, or they've got big bags, so they've got to shill to keep getting their bag up. So very interesting to see that. But I'm really hoping that this AMA with Binance, sorry about the noises, folks, I'm just put my watch back on. I'm really hoping this AMA with Binance is someone's gonna get through and ask some questions. I'm gonna join through my mobile device, so I can put my hand up, hopefully, and possibly get chosen to speak. I highly, 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 highly doubt it, but you know, it's worth a shot. It's worth a punt, so to speak. So really interested to see any sort of AMAs when CZ speaks, because whenever he speaks, it's kind of good information to absorb, in my opinion. No information is bad information unless it's Moonboy talk and full of crap. But you know, there are good sources of information out there. But there's also a lot of bad sources of information out there. We've added quite a lot to the LUNC Penguins website over the past, you know, week, and I'm getting a lot of questions about what this means. And if you just hover over something like this, it will normally give you a description. I'm going to get a question mark put next to this one for you folks. But this is the amount that could be minted of USTC if all other stable coins get, you know, market swapped, so to speak. But yeah, very interesting. So let me know in the comment section if you guys got any questions you would like. You know, what do you want to see get asked? What's currently on the table at the moment? What do we want to know? I've always got that one question. I think my first question, if I did get a chance, would just be to ask who actually holds, who owns this, who's buying all of this, and why such the targeting just on Binance at just this? That would be my question, but I guess a lot of people got a lot of different questions. If I got a choice of 3, that would be my first one. I'd probably ask why they're not putting it on all transactions. If they're the ones setting an example, why aren't they doing that? And if I had a third question, I would ask them, what are they going to do to ensure, you know, we get good help from them in the future? So it's all very interesting. And Binance do have a huge loss in Lunar Classic. And like a lot of people forget, it's like a I think it's like a 1.4 billion loss from their... I don't even think they invested it either. I think it was given to them. But very interesting to see all of that. And you know, folks, remember, USTC doesn't affect the price of Lunar Classic. Like, we can move symbiotically, yes, but overall, you know, if you actually sit and look at the technicals of it, we're not connected, not in one shape or form. Just gonna sip this drink. I need to turn off this auto mute feature on this microphone. Someone said to me the other day, they said, I need to get a new microphone. They don't like the way it sounds, so I need to get a new one. I was like, yeah, okay. No worries, dude. We'll get that done for you. I was like, which brand should we get? We like proper went through, like, I was just proper like going with it in the end. And we decided a whole like new microphone setup, sound pad, and if it come to like, I think it was like 14K after we finished. So, oh my god, it was like a full music recording studio setup in the end. Jesus, some people. So, what have you folks got planned for this weekend? Are you doing anything interesting other than watching the price of Lunar Classic? Which is what a lot of people were doing. If you haven't noticed, it's the staking ratio it has gone up, and this is literally just due to KuCoin. me and my development team, we know that the coins that were delegated came from KuCoin's wallet. Like, it came from their holdings. We're pretty certain on it. So it seems KuCoin are just there to be grabbing rewards. And I have stated this many times, with such a huge amount in the Oracle rewards pool, you know, all of these, anyone who can spin a node up could be getting, you know, some of these rewards. And it just goes to show that there's a lot of Lunar Classic to be captured from just being a validator. And when you have enough, you know, say like how much they've self-delegated or the way, however they've done it, the more coins you have staked with you, the higher your vote power is. Meaning, you know, the higher you are up there and you're getting rewards and stuff like that. So I'm really interested to see if there becomes an active set, and if we push past 130 and end up, you know, with, you know, an active set again of say like 200, well, a set of 200, an active set of 130. So yeah, I'm really interested to see that and see what moves are made by exchanges when new validators can come on board, because, you know, there's probably a lot of CXs that don't know that they can spin up a node, they can delegate, you know, a load of coins from their holdings or whatever, and they can be capturing these rewards out of the Oracle rewards pool. And from what we've done mathematically, this is going to last us for around 1.5 years. But if we figure out a better way to fund it than it's being currently funded, then it will last forever, but it needs to be sustainable, so to speak. So yeah, very interesting on that front. And, you know, we've got 33 days, 11 hours, 20 minutes until we can become a validator ourselves. And that's when the new validators are allowed to come on board. And I'm just super stoked. This is something that, you know, like my development team are mostly waiting for the node to spin up, because they'll be handling all the technical side of things, and I'll handle, you know, speaking to you folks, ensuring that everybody's happy with what's going on, the direction the node's moving in. And, you know, even after the burn's finished and stuff, like, we're here to ensure that new projects have runways on. They've got support, they've got what they need, and we're going to try and show people, you know, through projects, just how great the blockchain's technology is. And this is what I believe being a validator is all about. It's about incentivizing people and teaching them exactly why you became a validator, why you validate, and what the blockchain's technology is all about. And validators are so important because they're validators. They validate the blockchain. They commit new blocks. They do so much more than just, you know, provide staking rewards for you folks, because you can just, there's a way to just delegate your coins yourself. You don't have to go for a node, but it's really, really like tricky. It's, you know, it's really complicated. Someone said to me the other day, you know, it must, why are you paying to run the node? Why don't you just run it yourselves? And the simple fact is you need 4 systems, 2 high powered, 2 medium powered. They need to run 24 hours a day, 365 days a year without 0 downtime. And it's just, you're asking a lot from, you know, like, there's only so many hours in the day. And I have a server room already, which handles like Minecraft servers for friends and for my little brother's like little group of mates and stuff like that. So it is doable, but the issue is the downtime, power cuts. Any time, like, you know, it's just better to pay someone to operate the node for you. Well, you pretty much, you rent the node from them. They do everything up to a certain point and leave the rest to you. And it's, you know, it's not like you don't have to do anything, because you have to do loads. You have to do so much when you're a validator. But yeah, we've reached the 500 million Lunar Classic burned mark, and we've also reached 500 million USTC burned as well, which is really good. Like, really, 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 really good in my opinion, because we've barely got any burning going on right now at like whatsoever, not one bit. So let's head over to Twitter, the place where I don't really hang out anymore, and see if this AMA's gone live yet. College is a scam. This is why I've kind of stepped away. Oh, here we go. Okay. Are we the first ones in? No way. No way. Is this bugged? Am I in a bugged one? What's going on? Oh, no, there you go. Oh, I know what's going on here. Why is Twitter on their web browser just so buggy? Okay. Why have we got no sound? Okay, one sec, folks. Give me a sec. Folks, is anybody else not getting any sound whatsoever? Is it just me? Am I tripping out? I'm just tripping.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining.
There we go.
CZ will be here in a minute. As usual, just a reminder, we're going to have CZ for about 30 minutes. We'll try and fit in as many questions as we can during that time. If you'd like to come on stage and ask a question, please raise your hand, and I'll bring as many of you on stage as possible. Please be ready to get straight to the question. Also, don't shill any projects or ask any other or add in any unnecessary details. Like I said, we don't have much time, so we'll try and keep it as efficient as possible.
I have requested to speak.
Try and go in order of when people were added on stage as well. So if you do get added, just take note of that so you can expect when your question is next too.
Please add me.
Thanks. Looks like CZ's here. Hey CZ, how you doing?
Oh my god, they've added me as a speaker.
Hey guys, how are you?
Great. So we've just done the intro, bringing on a couple of people now, so we'll get started.
Sure. Running a tweet now.
Perfect. Tudor, are you there? Do you want to go ahead with your question?
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to say I'm actually really excited to have CZ here to answer a few questions of mine. So just without relent, I just want to ask, recently we've seen Binance coming together in collaboration with Nigeria with cryptocurrency in view. And just yesterday, the board of advisory was released, and the former chairman of Nigeria was among the list. So CZ, what does this mean for the future of cryptocurrency in Nigeria? And are we seeing you anytime soon in Nigeria just to push adoption in Nigeria?
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's good to speak to you, Tudor. We've been interacting on Twitter for quite a while, and I think first of all, the advisory board. It's and how things are going in that way. I think crypto needs to work with traditional financial institutions. We need to be compliant. We need to integrate. We don't need to be completely separated from that. Today, 99.9% of the money is still in fiat. So in order to move that money into crypto, we need to integrate. So and also Binance, the centralized exchange. Binance.com is probably the most scrutinized organization on the planet. Every regulator in every country is looking at it very intently. It's a lot of pressure, but it's also a lot of opportunity. We can set the example of being the most compliant exchange, and we can communicate with regulators. We can give them confidence. So having that advisory board with people with very strong backgrounds is going to help us. So and the advisory board is one thing, and there's many things that happens underneath or behind the scenes. We have very large teams that works on the compliance efforts. So we want to set an example to be the leading. We're not only the largest exchange, we're also the most compliant. And today, Binance have the most licenses around the world. So we have France, Italy, Spain, Dubai, Bahrain, and many other places. We also have 44 licenses in the United States. Binance US has them. So that's kind of the general direction where we're going. And that's why the Global Advisory Board is extremely senior, relatively extremely experienced people, extremely credible people, relatively high profile. So that's important. For Nigeria, I do plan to visit. I was actually going to plan to visit some time ago, but other trips keep getting the trip schedule keep changing. So I don't know my exact schedule yet, but I will definitely try to. I'll try to make an effort there. Nigeria is is an important market for crypto and for us. So yeah, I've been to Africa 4 times this year, but hopefully I'll make it to Nigeria soon.
Great. Well, thanks for the question, Tudor. Vegas, you're next. Are you there?
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me. So I just have a quick question to CZ regarding the Luna Classic burn on the spot trading. So you left a comment on the long ago on Twitter saying for us to implement it on chain before we start talking about implementing on the SEX itself. So we did that. Are you still thinking to support more the community regarding these aspects? All of this being said, in name of the community, I have to say thank you for supporting the LUNC community in so many other ways as well. Thank you, guys.
Sure. Thanks for the question. And so Luna Classic is a interesting situation. So I didn't make the comment. I think the blockchain should implement the burn first, but I did not promise saying that right afterwards Binance will do X, Y, and Z. I did not do that, but that people may imply that or infer that. I can see where that's coming from. But the centralized exchanges have have considerations. If you think about the game theory, right? Sure, everybody wants everybody else to burn 1.2% per transaction. But from a user perspective, if Binance charges 1.2% fees per transaction, we're not going to burn very much. I can tell you.
They've removed me as a speaker.
No one's going to trade on Binance. It's very similar to certain countries implementing a 1.2%
They removed me as a speaker. I can't believe it.
Those exchanges in those countries, the volume goes to zero, or very close to zero. So by centralized exchanges,
I can't believe
unless
that.
we can get all the centralized exchanges in the world
they remove me as a speaker
to do this, it's not going to work. So any exchange that implements 1.2% transaction trading fee per transaction, this is not going to be any trading volume. You trade 50 times, you have zero. And there's no way to collectively organize all the exchanges in the world to do it at the same time. So that's the thing where on the blockchain you can implement it is at the protocol level. Anybody who wants to use that protocol will have to pay that. To be honest, the 1.2% burn will make use cases on the blockchain kind of meaningless. Sorry for my directness, because look, if Ethereum charges 1.2% fee, nobody's going to use it. If Bitcoin charges 1.2% fee, not that many people is going to use it. So it's actually going to make that blockchain less useful. But everybody wants, but that blockchain was not was kind of abandoned by the project team anyway. So yeah, so for us, we're already supporting Luna C, and we want to continue to support it. But we don't want to be in a situation where we won't be able to support it, and we don't want to be in a situation where everybody else just if we charge 1.2%, no other exchanges don't do it at the same time. No one's gonna trade on Binance, so we're not gonna help very much. So that's my view. I will try to clarify that in some writing, but if you think through that, that's basically the implication. And also this voting mechanism, if you have a bunch of people who are not involved vote on something, and they don't have the ability to enforce that globally, the voting is somewhat meaningless, right? So you can vote on the blockchain does it. Okay, everybody using the blockchain does it. But today I can vote for all centralized exchanges to charge 0 fees, period. Everybody will vote yes. But can we implement it? Probably not. So the voting, I think that community voting shows what the community wants, which is important. But there are interesting implications on the execution and the side effects of it, which are not that well thought through. So that's kind of my view. I could be wrong. Yeah.
All right, great. Thanks for the insight there, CZ. Let's move over to Crypto King. If not there, we'll go to next in line, which is Amin. Amin, are you there?
Hello. Hey everyone, and really happy to see that that these AMAs are organized in a very good manner. Okay, and the level of discussion is really good. So really good thing here. Quick question, CZ. I mean, I'm one of the basically the exchanges that started just after you, probably like 2 months ago. Unfortunately, 2 months after you launched Binance, but unfortunately I failed. Okay, and I've been basically following this immense growth that Binance has been having, a little bit enviously, but at the same time it benefits the whole environment, etc. The Gensler came up and said basically they are convinced that the crypto space is concentrated in few players, and it's much more concentrated than the people think. And obviously they're talking about you, and they're talking about the people that are basically leading this environment. Okay. My question to you is, what's the future plan in order to make kind of Binance less of a heavyweight, because otherwise it starts to become a big risk on the industry. Today, Binance, for example, is based out of the UAE. Obviously, that's for some people our security is a positive statement, but some people see it as a risk. Basically, Binance is getting too big. At which point Binance is getting way too big and becoming a systemic risk on the environment? Thank you.
Okay, so again, I think there's a lot of balances there, or there's a lot to unpack. First of all, thanks for the positive comments about Binance. And I think Binance became successful because we did things well, and we protected users. We had a decent product, we had decent service, and we had very strong values on how to protect our users. And our actions kind of demonstrated that. Regarding concentration and centralization, etc., I think this topic is being discussed many times. Almost every time I do an AMA, this topic comes up. There are natural network effects that makes successful businesses, successful platforms, even successful protocols become more popular. If you look at Ethereum, it's a very popular network. Even though the fees are very high, people still use it quite actively. For Binance.com, we built a very easy to use.
They just said 1.2% would stop people using something, and they just said about Ethereum. It's all one contradictory big bubble.
So because we have we have a large pool of, we have the best liquidity in the world, and we have a big chunk of the global liquidity. Trading on Binance is much cheaper, is much safer than trading on other places. If you imagine, let's split the Binance liquidity into 1,000 different exchanges. So each exchange, let's say on average, only has 1/1000th of the liquidity. Then it's much easier for a whale to move the price on any of one of those exchanges, and we'll have the whale can drive the price down and then drive the price back. You will be a big spike. When those kind of spikes, or what we call needles, happen, guess what? People get liquidated in that process if other exchanges or that exchange offers futures. So today, having a global liquidity is actually the best protection mechanism we have for our users. So whenever there are many regulators who ask us to split liquidity by country, we always tell them that's a really bad idea for people in your country, because if we split the liquidity 200 different ways, again we have less liquidity each, and we will not have that level of protection. So naturally, people want to trade on a place where we have the deepest liquidity and there's less slippage, so that when you buy or sell, you get better prices, you save money. Slippage is actually more expensive than fees. So people actually are willing to pay a fee on exchange with less slippage. So that's just on the liquidity side. And then
I think I've heard enough of CZ Binance's voice for this afternoon, folks. Feel free to go over to that space and listen to it. I'm not going to listen to someone contradict their statements they've previously made, back out of things and stuff like that. Is this damaging for Lunar Classic? Of course it's not. Of course it's not. There's been a lot of, promises made by a lot of people as to getting this on all transactions, but it just looks like the CXs aren't interested for the sheer fact there's nothing in it for them. And, you know, we just don't have the right kind of marketing campaign backing this. We don't have the right kind of people. As you saw, they brought me up as speaker. They allowed Vegas to speak. And then as soon as he stopped speaking, they removed me as a speaker. You know, if you didn't see that and you don't see how obviously we're being censored, then, you know, it just goes to show, you know, they're not actually for this community. They don't stand with this community one little bit. Okay, they can sit there and go, well, we're the safest platform. You should trade with us. But how can you claim that? How can you, have you taken your CEX for like a crash test? Do you have a 5-star rating? Like, I don't understand. Like, who regulates them? No one. They regulate themselves. Like, this is why it's just, and I understand like everybody voted for this all transaction things, but you know, getting it actually done is a huge thing. And, you know, it just seems like, you know, Binance is seriously not interested in providing an off-chain burn. Does that mean all CX is going to follow this route? Of course not. It looks like eToro are doing it on all transactions. But the weirdest thing is about eToro is they're not... Oh, one of my developers explained it to me really well. I say that my lead developer explained it to me really well. They don't even have like... They're like a reseller. So they kind of forwarding a buy and sell to another CEX. And then they take a profit off of the top. So really interesting on that front. And... you know, as to all of these CXs getting off to a late start, I honestly believe they're gathering data. I honestly believe they're kind of like, they're trying to leave it for as long as they can to gather as much data. So they could possibly go, well, hang on a minute, this is going to destroy our volume. So we're just not going to do that. You know, we're not going to, you know, it's, it's one of them ones. So it's, shall I HCC? What, have I missed something here, Strafe? What did you say? But yeah, it's just crazy how they brought me up as speaker and then was like, no, you're not being a speaker actually, because you're going to ask something we don't want you to ask. And I was going to ask him as well. It's going to be like, why do you hold? Why is there so many coins held in your exchange? Why specifically Lunar Classic and USTC? So yeah, really interesting to see all of that. And like I said, folks, this live stream this Friday was literally just to see what was going to happen during that. Nice to see, you know, that, you know, the one person that did get to speak, he didn't really get an answer. You know, we didn't really get an answer. And, you know, how can you really boycott someone like Binance, CZ Binance and their exchange? You know, if they say something, it's true. It's kind of like Watcher Gurus, heavily controlled, I believe, by Binance. You know, if Watcher Guru said something, it can affect the overall, you know, consensus of things. So yeah, it didn't surprise me, you know. I was surprised they brought me up as a speaker. I couldn't believe it. I was getting all nervous, as you could see, and I thought, right, I'm gonna ask that. And then I heard Vegas ask that, so I thought, okay, I'll jump to the next question then. And then just getting taken down really does go to show how, you know, they pick carefully who they're going to bring up to speak. And Vegas is, you know, if he has been speaking to him, which likely he has, they probably said, you know, you can only ask this question and stuff like that. So it seems it's all one big play at the moment. You know, it's been pre-written for us kind of thing. It's like kind of playing a linear game when we were younger. You know, it's one level and you got to go from end to end. You can't trail off of the map because it's not, you know, you're filtered, you're funneled. And that's what I believe is happening with these AMAs and stuff like that. They're filtered to the highest extent to where they obviously knew, you know, I'm HappyCattyCrypto, and obviously I would just ask a question like that. So, you know, what can we do? What can we really do? Nothing. Apart from just sort of sit there and just talk about it, I guess. John Herr, thank you so much. Folks, honestly, you do not need to donate anything. Seriously, you just don't need to. Thank you so much. And yeah, and I mean, if it is the price dumping, oh look, there we go. Well done, CZ. Well done, mate. We really appreciate you coming and messing up the day. It just goes to show, you know, we just, like, there's no one ever there to support you folks. Like with this whole USTC minting, thing that was going on. There was no one there to explain things to you, to get you on side. That's why Strafe came on and done an episode. And, you know, Strafe has always been, he's not here for fame, glory, nothing like that. He's here for the same purpose I am, to help the community, to push this movement along. And, you know, I hope none of you are selling right now if you've held your bag for so long, because this is just insane. Like, I can't believe people are like so sheepish to, you know, just be like, oh, right, oh my God, that's it, it's all over. Like, we have an on-chain burn going on right now. You can see it. It's over half a billion. So, oh God, what was your question you was going to ask, Jay? Gutted you got removed as a speaker. Yeah, so I would have said to him, and this is probably exactly how I would have said it. Hi, ZZ. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate you giving me the chance to speak. I was just wondering, why do you hold such a huge amount of Lunar Classic, USTC, and Anchor Protocol? And if you don't hold them, who do they belong to? That would have been my question. And I would have kept it as sweet and as direct as possible, so he couldn't deviate off the path and start like doing what he's doing. You know, you just go straight onto Bitcoin fees. It's like, mate, we don't care that you've got 0 Bitcoin fees, you know? Help these communities and you will prosper. Like, help the LUNC community, and the LUNC community would likely all just move over. You know, people are like, I'm moving my coins over there. They're wicked. I trust them. I definitely trust them with the future of my coins. So it's very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Guys, thank you so much for those donations. They really do help me out. I really appreciate it. But honestly, please don't donate anymore. Please. Pretty please. So, guys, is there anything you want put on the website? What do you feel like the website's missing right now? Is there anything we can get up for you folks? We are going to be getting a like a CEX's tab up, which will tell you each CEX that is burning, and we'll possibly at some point get a, you know, a chart, like a top burners system for them, but it's all stuff in the future. But if there's anything that you guys want, time to promo Luna. Yeah, no thanks. I don't shill coins. I don't like, the issue is with that project is it needed building on the blockchain, and then the utility needs to be there. And, you know, utility should be your first drive. You should always figure out a use case. I actually just bought 1 million Lunar Classic, by the way. I got nervous and thought, I might dip out quickly. But yeah, so that puts me up to 16 million now I hold. Absolutely pretty much nothing. And I have all of mine delegated at the moment. I had 5 mil come out of undelegation, but I've actually put them back in now. And I've spread mine out. I'm spread across 3 validators, which is my own choice, obviously. I'm with MCF. I'm with LUNC now. And then, who's my last one? It's like some really like weird low down node. Oh, yeah, of course, 4.bullchain. And I'm just trying to help 4.bullchain. I wouldn't advise delegating with anyone who's got, well, I wouldn't advise any financial advice, but remember, people's uptimes are key. They can become part of a slashing event, although I haven't seen like 4.bullchain become part of a slashing event yet, which is really interesting. So we need cat content on the website. Yeah, I guess so. So yeah, Happy's sleeping a lot at the moment because she's been going through like a steroid treatment thing for her airways. So she's sleeping a lot at the moment, and yeah, very interesting. I'm able to walk and go get in my car now and actually like drive somewhere, which is really nice. I keep driving to Costa Coffee and getting a coffee, and then like sat there like, yeah, I went all the way here. Like, look how far I went. And I'm like, oh yeah, but I drove, didn't I? I can't really. So yeah, really good on the back front, to be quite honest, folks. But good idea about the LUNC merch. As to merch, you know, it's what we need right now is utility. We need utility. We need use cases. And the reason why we need this is to be able to sustain price movement and then sustain prices. Like, it's all down to how many of you are using the coin, not just buying it and sitting on it. Like, you need to be using it. And like the Lunar Punks marketplace and the Lunar Burner Knights marketplace are both built into the blockchain. So everything that goes on there creates volume, creates transactions, it moves stuff. And yeah, that is people buying the dips more than likely. Well, it must be. So it'd be funny if it just went all the way up, wouldn't it? Great Friday. Yeah, so good. Let's get up and march forward. Yeah, definitely. And just, you know, don't ever like try to take things like this on the chin, if that makes sense. And I wish I never even joined that stream, because I might have freaked a load of people out, but you know, it is what it is. But the way I'm standing, I don't know why Lunar V-Shape's calling me for. Dude, I'm in a live stream. So we really need more utility. We really do. And, you know, with the focus so much on burning, if we could figure out and like incentivize more projects to come over and build and come back and build and stuff like that, it would just help. Like, I can't explain, like every coin goes through a pump and a dump if it doesn't have utility use case. It's inevitable. They all end up as the same as every coin. You know, just... And what coins are... I mean, the majority of the market will just follow Bitcoin like it's dragging it on a lead. The charts become almost, you know, perfectly matchable at times, and it's crazy. And yeah, I'm not selling my Luna, I'm buying more. And yeah, like I'm guessing the reason why it's coming back up is because people are putting buy orders in. But like withdrawals and deposits are disabled on nearly all exchanges. Like we're still waiting for all of these exchanges to actually provide it on the withdrawals and deposits as they stated they would. But once again, we're getting them, you know, claim the fame, take, you know, all the positivity, and then like, yeah, well, we'll do it when we're ready. And it's like, we've had the burn tax for a couple days now. I think today's the third day, right? Yeah, today's the third day. So it's, you know, we're barely even into this. But honestly, I just can't say it enough. We just need utility. We need people building on the blockchain. We don't need people building coins and then taking liquidity from Luna Classic and taking it off chain. You know, it's just not. That's why I've always been on this thing where my node will burn 50% and 50% goes to the treasury to cover running costs and then help provide runways for projects. And there's so many good projects out there. I'm currently working with one at the moment, and they think they're going to be able to burn like, and I laugh because you know, they think they're going to be able to burn 1 trillion coins. I'm going through the white paper at the moment. When I read white papers, I read them like 30 times over. I normally actually print them off and then just keep reading them. I put them out in my kitchen because I stand there and keep the weight off of my back. Like right now, I'm stood. I'm not actually sat down. I'm stood up because of the weight on my back. But yeah, without off-chain burns, this is done. No, I don't. I'm sorry, but I just don't believe that. I really don't. Will USTC get banned as an algorithmic coin? I don't think so. Because the ban is on new algorithmic stablecoins, and this stablecoin already exists. So I think there's a flaw in the law. A flaw in the law. Look, who's a poet? I'm so easily pleased sometimes. But yeah, I honestly don't. If you believe, you know, this is done, then you really don't understand this movement. You know, but what the issue we have is, you know, your main marketing team that are supposed to be driving towards getting utility are more focused on merchandise, getting their nodes up and running and stuff like that, instead of just focusing solely on what projects are out there. Okay, what can we bring to Luna Classic that's already been built on other blockchains? You know, in effect, what can we copy right now, which is easy to bring into play to help incentivize people, create use cases? And incentivizing people is everything, but educating people is so much more, like so much more, because there's so many people joining the space. They're uneducated, they don't understand, and they just, you know, a lot of people don't even understand about taking profits. Like, take profits. Like, and it's not financial advice, but learn to take profits up the top here. Like, when it's running, take out your initial investment. Okay, take it out, put it on the side. You can always chuck it back in when it goes down here. And it's always like, say you've got, I don't know, say you've got 5 million, like enough to buy 5 million Luna Classic, right? Don't buy 5 million Luna Classic. Buy 2 million and then see what the price does. If it moves down a little bit, DCA down, buy a little bit more. If it drops again, buy a little bit more. This is the kind of stuff what I do. I kind of, you know, just try and play. Like, I have a little pot and I try to play it with, you know, the upswing and the downswings of the market, because you don't control it. So you may as well try and work with it. Why fight the flow? Go with it. Like Bruce Lee says, be like water, you know? Just be moldable. Be this person that can adapt to anything, you know, fit inside anything, work with anyone. And I've always been like this. I've always helped everyone. And Terra Rebels had a huge, you know, issue, and my lead developer fixed it, not because they asked us, but because we wanted to fix it, because we don't shun anyone. And I know a lot of people sit there and think, you know, I hold some kind of grudge against Terra Rebels, but I don't. Like, the truth hurts and the truth is sore, but the truth is there nonetheless. Yeah, and I guess people who, like, there's, I don't know who says this, but for every person who sells their bag, there's always someone waiting below them to buy the bag out from underneath. So yeah, and I mean, we've had dips like this before. Look, as you can see here, we've had a dip like this before. So we could come up, you know, it looks like it's fighting this line of support right now. So hopefully we get a rebound and we move back up and just carry on coasting in this area, because, you know, previously we've just been coasting sort of for a while in this area, just sort of staying in this area of consolidation. Not really like some people say, you know, it's a falling wedge, but, you know, correction, consolidation, and then possible move downwards now due to people reacting to CZ Binance not saying they're going to be doing it on all transactions, which sucks, because we were always kind of promised this from people in Terra Rebels. So very interesting to see all of that, and very interesting to see how this is all panned out today. But folks, that's all I've got for you today, because I've got to head off out. I've got a doctor's appointment, and I've got to get my back drained as well by the nurse before I go, and she is tapping at the door. So folks, have a really, really nice Friday. Have a lovely weekend. I hope the sun's shining. Stay safe. Going to be posting videos still. You know, I'm never going anywhere. If you want updates, you're going to need to come to YouTube, because I'm just sick of, you know, all of the junk on Twitter. I'm sick of this whole... The majority of people involved in this are not taking it seriously anymore. It's kind of become this whole joke meme topic to them. And I'm trying to drive this proper educational, you know, drive about how great this blockchain's technology, how cheap it is and stuff like that. Like CZ Binance saying about stuff like the fees, and then says about, you know, Ethereum gas fees. Like, come on. Come on. So folks, take care. Have a really nice day. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this financial advice. I'll never DM you. Beware of scammers. Beware of doppelgangers. We will catch you in the next one. Thank you all for showing up today. Much love. Thanks for the donations. Stay safe.